Hey everyone, before we start, I just want to talk about Olaf's items and runes. And the first item that I would go for is Trinity Force. Triforce maximizes the chances of Olaf being able to carry the game, since it provides him with HP, damage, attack speed, ability haste, move speed, as well as even more damage with the use of the Sheen passive. So if you want to maximize your chance of carrying, this is the item for you. But if you're having a hard time with a bad early game and you need a front line, Black Cleaver is another cheaper alternative that you could get. Next item I would go for is Death's Dance, another great item for Olaf since this allows you to become tankier as well as get your HP back when you're able to get takedowns. Third item is a flex, but generally you could go for Steel Plated Stone Plate, but if they have Serpent's Fang, an alternative that you could go is the Stasis Enchant, especially if they have Zed in their team. Another option would be the Glorious Enchant, but you would only go for the Glorious Enchant if you are snowballing the game. For example, after the first objective, you are 3-0, then Glorious Enchant is a very good item that you could go for in order to snowball the game. Then the next item that I would go for is Guardian Angel. This is interchangeable with Sterak's Gauge, and it would depend on the opponent. If you're in a kill streak, Guardian Angel is a very good item that you could go for. But generally, you could go for the Sterak's Gauge because this provides you with more HP as well as an additional shield, and combining with your Stone Plate, this would make you a lot more tanky in team fights. An alternative for Sterak's Gauge in case they have anti-shielding, which is the Serpent's Fang, is Warmog's Armor. In combination with the Triforce, you could easily proc Warmog's passive, and it is another good item, allows you to have sustain, and makes you be able to go in and out of clashes. And then the last item that I would go for depends on the opponents. If they are AD heavy, you could go for the Randuin's Omen. If they are AP heavy, you could go for the Spirit Visage. It largely depends on the team composition, and if you even want to go for more damage, you could even try and get Wit's End if you would want to combine damage and survivability. So it's up to you on what you want to get. Going to the runes, the first rune that I would go for is Conquer. This is your bread and butter rune. You could stack this pretty easily and benefit a lot from the lifesteal that it gives. Second rune that I would go for is Triumph. Since you would want to execute your opponents as soon as possible, Triumphs will allow you to increase your damage as well as get your HP back. It also stacks with our second skill, so if our second skill is active and we get a takedown, then the heal given by Triumph will be increased as well. But if you want to play a bit more safe, Hunter Vampirism is another possible rune that you could go for. Then the third rune that we go for is Ultimate Shield. This is possibly the best rune for Olaf right now because if you use your ultimate, you become a lot more squishier, and Ultimate Shield would give you additional tankiness when going in the opponent. All the other runes would be also possible. You could go for the conditioning, but Ultimate Shield synergizes the most with his kit. Last rune that I would go for is Mastermind. Since Olaf's early game is pretty strong, you would want to snowball the game as fast as possible, and Mastermind would help you secure the objectives faster as well as get even more gold. So that is it for Olaf's items and runes, and I will see you guys in game. Going to the game, I'm going to be showing you Olaf's potential in the jungle. In this matchup, we're currently up against Lee Sin, and then an Olaf versus Lee Sin. This is advantageous towards the Olaf player because we counter Lee Sin's ult with our own as well as becoming stronger overall in duels. What Lee Sin has is possibly being able to outplay us, but it ultimately depends on the laners who would be able to get priority in the scuttle. Here I switch to my control ward, put it on the river, and then decide where I should start. I go for the blue buff because of the fact that I'm starting with my first skill, and with the recent nerf on Olaf's third skill, starting on my axe would make my clears faster overall. If I started red buff and use my first skill, I would run out of mana pretty quickly, and it would not make my clear as smooth as compared to starting the blue. When I reach level 2, that's when I get my third skill, and it deals a little less damage right now. So what I would want to do is try to spam my first skill as much as possible when clearing the jungle. A tip when clearing the jungle is try to always catch your axe so that you would be able to spam it, making your clears faster overall. And when using your second skill, you would always want to auto attack first before using it so that you would be able to get an auto attack reset. For example, when clearing my raptors, you would want to get your axe and then auto attack second skill and then spam your third skill first skill when it's available. Olaf's clear is still pretty fast as compared with the other junglers, even with the nerfs on his skill. But even though Olaf's clear has gotten a bit of a nerf, his overall damage has increased because of the armor penetration that the first skill gives right now. And my build right now with Olaf is getting at least 2 to 3 points on my first skill before going for max third so that my clear would not be as slow. The reason why I go for max third before is because it makes my clear faster and I have stronger overall damage. And here I try to get the Camille down, but she's able to live. Really good dodge, making her 2-0, and things are not looking good because Camille has the potential to snowball the game. Vex gets a great kill onto the mid lane, Lee Sin gets a trade, and I'm stuck here trying to look for a Scuttle. Since Lee Sin was able to get the bot scut, I have no choice but to go home and buy my items. The first item that I'm going here is the Trinity Force, and with the buff on Olaf's first skill, this would make my damage even higher. Lee Sin is being proactive, going for another gank, which is his advantage overall because Olaf's ganks are not the strongest. Even though you would not be able to stop Olaf in a clash, he needs to ramp up his early game, and as much as possible, you would want to get early kills when playing Olaf. But based on the state of the game, it's pretty hard to gank the opposing lanes because Yone has his third skill for farming, Camille has her third skill also for dodging my abilities. Olaf's best lanes to gank are those with no dashes and those with crowd controls because Olaf could basically just negate all of the possible crowd control that could be thrown at him. Olaf's weakness when ganking is when the opponent have a lot of dashes. So what I'm doing right now is just power farming my jungle because there's no potential lanes to gank, and I would want to complete my Triforce as soon as possible, and hopefully before the first objectives spawn, I would be able to complete it. Another fight happens on top side. So basically all of my lanes are having a hard time. Our duo bot is losing. Our BR lane is losing as well. I'm forced to try and make a gank here onto the Camille. Our Riven goes down. Camille is able to third skill away. I burned my ulti, and as soon as it expires, she's able to slow me. I try to chase her down, but Lee Sin with the response is able to come with Ghost Blade. I'm pretty much stuck. I'm trying to go for a 1-for-1 trade, but Lee Sin has kick and is able to secure the kill. This is the early game that you don't want, especially when you're playing with Olaf, because Olaf is not that strong when it comes to the later stages of the game because he could easily be bursted down. Olaf's strengths come from the early to mid game, and you would want to show your strengths and try to snowball the game while you're at your strongest. Here I go for my red buff, and with the objective spawn in 20 seconds, I look at the state of the game. I see that my laners are having a hard time. So what I'm doing right now is trying to position myself in trying to get the Rift Herald. I don't even have my Triforce, so I'm not yet that strong. I see that Lee Sin is in the top side, and this is the perfect opportunity for me to go for a trade because my laners are having a hard time. Usually, you would always want to contest, but due to the circumstances in this game, I am forced to trade the objective, and this would help me in the long run because I would be able to get more gold. Another fight happens on the Baron lane. Riven dies again for the fourth time. Camille tries to become a bit greedy, duels me 1v1. Even though I don't have my Triforce yet, look at the damage potential that I have. With the 20% armor penetration and my passive proccing, I'm able to take down the Camille, get a shutdown, summon Rift Herald bot, and be able to get the first tower. The opponents are pretty slow taking the dragon. My team is able to get at least one kill, but most of them fall down. Actually, 4 of them have already died. But it's okay. What's important is that I'm able to get my items. I was able to buy my Triforce plus buy my steel-plated steel caps. Lee Sin tries to steal my blue buff. He's able to do so. I chase him down, gets a great kick, and I'm not able to chase him anymore. Going to the top side, I see that Samira is out of position. I try to go for a gank. Samira dashes in, which is a go time for me to try and kill her. Caitlyn decides to just stand there, but We completely counter Janna because she's not able to use any spells. We're able to counter her knockback and get a shutdown onto the Samira. With the newfound items that we have, I play a bit aggressive trying to get some plates, but as soon as Lee Sin shows up, I am forced to go back. What I'm doing right now is looking at the score and seeing who is our win condition right now, and it's best for my team to scale up first while I try to make it up by ganking the opponents and power farming my own jungle. Currently, I have the most gold. I'm pretty strong even though my start was not the best. Starting from 0-1, looking at the gold, I think I'm at 6.8k, which is pretty fast in this stage of the game because of the shutdowns and the towers that I was able to get. What I'm doing right now is trying to full clear my jungle before doing anything so that I would get my items faster, and since nothing else is happening in the map, I would want to just clear my jungle. And if you look at my skill build, I only place 3 points in my first skill and then go for the max third. That way, I would still have a lot of burst and my clearing would not be that slow. Lee Sin goes for another gank mid, our Vex goes down. I'm too late to be able to respond. Bot tower goes down as well. I try to go for the 1v2. Using at my ultimate, I get ultimate shield. Chasing the Lee Sin down, he has Ghost Blade. I tried to predict, but he is able to juke me going to the left side. Riven is able to come. Goes for the Flash Ignite. Easily gets the kill, plus shutdown, which helps the Riven try to get back into the game. What I'm doing right now is looking for overextended lanes. I see that Yone has his third skill, so I just go for the top side instead. Janna and Samira are going for a dive onto our team. Even though my teammates would die, I would be able to help them. Vex misses her ultimate, but they have no more escape. I hit them with the third skill, plus first skill plus third skill. Vex is able to get a kill as well, and we're slowly clawing back into the game. Currently, I am the richest with 1k GPM, and there's still a chance that I would be able to snowball the game and allow my team to be able to get their items. The next item that I go for is Death's Dance. This would make me tankier as well as get health back. And if I'm able to get kills while my second skill is active, I would get even more lifesteal from the Death's Dance plus the Triumph Room that I am using right now. Third item, I am deciding if I should go for the plated steel, for the Righteous Glory, Stasis, or the Stone Plate. But most likely I would go for the Stasis so that I would be able to counter Camille's ult. And with the second Herald spawning, I'm pretty confident that we would be able to contest because I have my Death's Dance and I see that Camille is a bit overextended, so I try and go force the team fight, spamming my first skill. So one thing when using your first skill is not to throw it too far so that you would be able to catch it. Vex with another fight. I have my ultimate. We completely counter Yone's knockup. Just bulldoze over him, get a lot of lifesteal back, and secure the Rift Herald. Unfortunately, our DR lane is not having the best time, going for a 2-for-1 trade, 1-for-2 trade rather, but at least we're able to get the Rift Herald, and I'm able to get my Zonias so that I would be able to buy even more time and possibly dodge their skills. Vex goes to the top lane, is able to take down the Samira. The opponent played pretty greedy, and what's happening right now is I'm waiting for the next dragon to spawn. While waiting for the DR to spawn, I used the Herald mid so that I could apply pressure and possibly take down the tower. And taking down the mid tower is pretty important because it opens up the map by a lot. With the dragon spawning in 10 seconds, I would want to clear the bot side of my jungle first, taking the Raptors plus red. I assume that they wouldn't start it right away because I might be able to threaten them, and as soon as I finish my red, I go for the dragon. I think I'm pretty late. Yep, I wouldn't be able to reach. So I should have went for the red instead and then went for the dragon. Another fight happens here. Vex is able to use ultimate. Yone is pretty low. I use my ultimate and then going for the 1v3. Once I'm able to get a kill, I get a lot of my HP back. Even with Samira ultimate, using her ultimate, we take her down and get a lot of lifesteal. Even though we're not able to get the dragon, part of it was my mistake because I over farmed my bot side. We're still able to win the clash. Vex is able to get a lot of kills. and Riven was able to hold the lane, which is pretty good. So Camille is trying to split push a lot. She uses her third onto me, which tells me that I would be able to all-in her. With the Sterex gauge, I'm pretty tanky, and once we take down the Camille, we get our HP back with the Death's Dance plus Triumph plus second skill healing. At this point, we're pretty fed. Level 13 with 3 items. The next item that I'm going for is Guardian Angel, because I'm pretty sure that in the next team fights they would want to focus me down because most of the items are with me. Before doing any plays, I go for my blue buff, and I could do two things, which is to farm my own jungle or to go for the top side. And I see that Samira and Janna are pretty much extended in the top side. They have no more first tier tower, so I go for the gank instead. I have my ultimate, flash, plus my first skill, go for the slow. We force Samira's flash, we force Janna's flash as well. I flash in, get the kill, and even with Janna's tornado, she's not able to stop me. Currently godlike, we're playing really well, and we're helping our team get back into the game. I think Vex is able to get a lot of money as well. Goes in for the ultimate, does not connect, but we're able to take the tower. With Baron spawning soon, I think about going for it, but I'm not yet that confident that we would be able to take it down fast. What their Camille is doing right now is just split pushing the whole game. She's able to take down our tier 2 tower, but with my teammates there, I think we're gonna be able to pin her down. Even though she has flash, I'm able to chase her down with the third skill. Caitlyn's able to get the kill. I think that was her first kill, and this would help her get more items as well. At this point, I don't need any more items, so I would want to give the kills as much as possible to my teammates because Olaf scales most at 3 items. After 3 items, he would still get a bit stronger, but it's not as impactful as getting his first 2 to 3 items. With the Baron spawn, what I want to do here right now is just farm my camps, try to get my Guardian Angel, which is almost completed, and hopefully my team doesn't get ganked or get caught out of position. While clearing the Raptors, you would always want to look at the positioning of your team as well as the opponent, just in case a fight might happen. So I see here that Samira goes in, tries to play a bit greedy, and then I'm here, use my ultimate, take down their ADC, currently legendary, and this opens up for a possible Baron Nashor take. We force Lee Sin to use his second skill, but I decide to just go for the red buff, and then most probably go for the reset so that I would be able to complete my GA. Because if I'm able to complete my GA, I would be able to play a lot more aggressively, and I would not be afraid of losing my kill streak anytime. Their Camille decides to split push top instead, and I think this is a pretty good call because at this point, they're having a hard time being able to burst me down because their Yone is not yet that fed, and we completely counter Janna and Samira. The Janna and Samira. Take down the blue buff sharing. Their Camille is playing a bit greedy, so we go immediately try to look for the punish. Great Fear. Camille's third skill doesn't connect, and this might open up the Baron for us. There's no more split push threat. What I want to do here is possibly go for the wards, and if I can, try to bait the Baron Nashor. 30 seconds before Camille spawns, I look at the positioning of my team. Caitlyn is not yet there, that's why I haven't went for the Baron yet. And as soon as she's able to help, I go and ping the Dragon instead because it's quite risky. If we die here, then this would most likely be a free Baron for the opponent. I place a control ward down and wait for them to face check. Even though it's only a Dragon, I play it patiently. My teammates play it good as well, and as soon as Vex taunt hits, we go in for the kill. We take 2 of their members down. I wait for the Yone to come back on his shadow, easily get another kill, and this would open us up for taking either the Dragon or the Baron. I ping my team to take the Dragon, but the problem is Lee Sin might be able to steal, but it's okay. Even though my burst has been nerfed, because the third skill doesn't deal as much damage as before, what I do here is just wait for the Lee Sin, force him to use his skills, Caitlyn does a great job being able to take Lee Sin down, and Camille is doing what she's always doing, which is just split pushing. I think overall it's still worth because we're able to take down the dragon, trade it for the second tier tower. As long as our inhibitors don't fall down, this is still very much winnable. And with all the gold that I'm getting, I'm going for my last item, and actually I'm already item locked. I went for the Randuins because they are mostly all AD and they have a lot of crit with Samira plus Yone, helping reduce the damage that they could deal. Lee Sin spawning in 10 seconds. This prompts me to go for the ward, and as soon as I see Yone at the top side, I try to look for a catch. I see that there's a Mira warded the bot side. I can put down my control ward, then look for an opportunity to strike. What the opponent is doing right now is trying to face check for any possible Baron, and as soon as Samira tries to the ward, she has to flash out because she's quite scared, and as soon as I see her stuck in the bush, go for the ultimate, first kill, third skill, get another kill. Our Caitlyn falls down, but I see that their Janna has fallen down as well, and it is a 1-for-2 trade overall. So what I want to do here is try to pressure the mid because their Camille is busy split pushing top. So there's only 2 members left. Yone is quite low. We immediately burst him down, and with the Yone down, Lee Sin's the only one left. Camille is still busy split pushing top side, and I know that Lee Sin's gonna have a hard time trying to clear the wave. We easily take him down. Their nexus is open. We burst down the Lee Sin. I have my ultimate, preventing me from getting knocked back, and go for the win. Overall, this was a great game. Even though we had a very disaster early, we just played to our win condition, get the Herald, get our gold, and then punish the opponent from what they did. 100% Olaf in Challenger tier, which is quite good. We get MVP, a lot of awards as well, and we basically carried the game. Hopefully, you guys got inspired on how to play Olaf with most damage dealt, most damage taken, 13-1-8, really good, and hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching our Olaf gameplay, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out. Ciao, ciao. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.